What's up, guys? Back in today with more Frieren, this time with episode 2 of season 2, or episode 30 overall. Really awesome episode last week, kind of getting back into things. There was a bit of a subtle start with the whole non-magic crystals, bit of action there, but even better was the Fern focus and her kind of thoughts and the representations of her thoughts on the characters with the accessories that they've got her and such. I thought that was really lovely, linking back to the past as well, as usual with the show. But yeah, great start. I will say I wasn't as big a fan of the opening as the previous ones. I think this is definitely the weakest, but it's still good, just not as good, which is a bit of a shame. But I did see quite a few people like picking holes in the logic of last week's episode. It feels very nitpicky to me, but I think if you actually look into things, there is plenty of explanation as to why they couldn't take one of these crystals. As well as I heard someone mention that the intro segment of them looking for money was strangely anime only. I'm not sure why, but not sure why that was added, but yeah. I do love the visuals though. The visuals are great, aren't they? The hero of the South. Yes. Very specific spell. Handy one though. Hey, where's the fun in that? So that's the guy we see in the opening. Just before, he kind of looks recognizable. Just before the guy from last episode was thrown up on the boat, we see this guy. Cyclo Yusha. Really? Seven Sages of Destruction. There's one. We know one of them. I didn't quite get a good look at the rest of them. Yeah, I definitely recognise one of them. The racists love to love to use her. I hate that whole group of disgusting people picked up this show just because of that stuff. But yeah, it's kind of sad that my recollection of that, it was awesome, but now it's I put that with the racists. Just by himself. Schlatt. All 7 at once. That is crazy. I guess that was just how dangerous he was. Wow. Oh yeah. Good job, you. Bloody hell. That's what it should be. What job he done? I don't like that. I don't like the sound of that. That doesn't sound like it's promising. I don't know about you guys, but alright. I was thinking that they might be like controlling him or something. They might have used his body or something. Like a marionette, like a puppet or something like that, maybe. Hope it sounds bad, but hopefully they ate him better than what I said. So I also recognise this. I think it's from the trailer. So he tried bringing her on his journey. Handsome bastard, isn't he? They can also see the future. Like a future seeing battle. Part of. I'm just not that interested. What's interesting about being able to foresee future events? Yeah, he still went there and done this. Knowing full well he'd die. Not could die, but he will die. The hero Hibble. You know your shit, man. You know it. Again, this guy, fair play to him. He absolutely deserves to be held as a hero. I said this a minute ago. I said a minute ago, like it's one thing going somewhere. Obviously, I've got no experience of this. I'm not kind of like some kind of medieval warrior, but it's one thing kind of going somewhere knowing that you could die and death is a possibility, even a big possibility. But it's another thing going there and knowing that it's certain. You're certain that you're going to die there. Wow, that was a really awesome segment. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit distracted because my face seeing, like I've told you guys about this before, maybe not in these videos, but sometimes I like see faces in some things, and I see like an eye, a nose, and a mouth here, so it's creepy face in this rock. Put me off a little bit. Yeah, that like respect to him. Like the question is like, I think for me is if I knew I was going to die there, obviously I would try not to go there. But I guess that is kind of like fate or whatever. But it's like respect that he knows that he's not going to be like the true like the hero that saves everybody. Like he still played his part and taken down a few of them, and kind of securing this kind of good future. I know it's only been like 2 minutes, but I really like that guy. Respectable, hugely respectable guy. Hopefully we see more kind of flashbacks of him because he seemed really lovely, really nice. I don't know, it's like there's nothing like crazy complicated or anything about that kind of storyline right there, was there? But there's just something like just about the show that just makes it feel so impactful, so well done. Mm. What a geezer! What a legend! Respect, bro. Yeah, the ducks. Well, again, that was a short but sweet as fuck segment right there. Like that's probably not even like top 50 moments in the show. It's like the worst moments of this show are better than most of the best moments of some pretty good anime. Quite amazing, isn't it? People like to say people like glaze this show a lot. Say it's like overrated. I genuinely don't actually think it's overrated. I just think it's just everything it endeavors to do. It does to almost the highest degree always. And I think that's why people respect the show so much. Like, I'm one of the first people to call something overrated. There's been a lot of overrated stuff come out in recent years. But I don't know if you could I don't know if you could ever say that about the show. This I've got to do this, have we? Oh, that's a free meal. Gruff, gruff duck. Again. The in-demand sword. How does it keep happening? Yeah, like get some better security, guys. How'd you keep letting this happen? But yeah, as I said, must be some interesting sword. That's a granddad. That is rude. That is rude as fuck. Doing a favour for you, you gotta or lock you up. Me and this guy was quite a bit nicer this time. There's just some like, what's the deal with this sword then? Ah, so it's theirs to begin with. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just the fact that it was theirs originally. They can't stand humans having it or something. Like, you can't keep doing this forever, Frieren. every 100 years or so, just get the fucking sword back. Lovely. Thanks. Needed that close up. It was scared of snakes, are we? I used to love snakes. Not that I ever met many. There's not many in the UK. But I always used to have this like wooden snake toy thing that I used to love, and then I broke it one day. I was devastated. Pigeon. That was a crow. Oh shit. Priest. Really now. Absolutely. Not surprised. In order to survive. But it's an interesting point, isn't it? Like from our perspective, it's kind of like the whole. It's not exactly the case, but it's kind of. I mean, watching like Darwin G Hennessy and like vegan, like veg, yeah, vegans and stuff. It's like if you can survive without meat, like why should I not? Like it's the same argument like meat eaters will say to like vegans, like why should I not? Like it's healthy. Um, obviously there's like issues with it, but like we're not gonna stop eating certain types of meat just because of so and so reasons. So it's like again, I'm not exactly on board with these demons, but you kind of get where she's coming from. To them, if you were like the ape, like as humans, we're like the apex predator in the world, aren't we? Obviously, it doesn't mean we just beat any animal, but our like intellect and such means that we are the apex predator. If you were a demon, who I think probably one level above humans in this. I mean, obviously the demons did get defeated by Frieren and her group, but if we were to talk like about history like before that, they would be like the apex predator. So why would they like we're like chicken essentially? So let's just look at it that way. Why should they stop eating chicken? What reason do they have to stop eating chicken? It's not like they have got any thoughts or feelings towards us. They don't find humans cute. Like yeah, like they got absolutely no reason. So it's like yeah, I kind of get your point. Why would you stop? I wouldn't stop eating KFC. So um yeah, fair play to you guys. I mean, it's pretty obvious that this woman was the yeah, no shock there whatsoever was there, but not great at acting, are they? It's like there's no emotion. I mean, the emotion, like I thought for a second, was like, oh, it's just kind of somber, but they can't really display any kind of emotion, so they're not great actors because they're always super like mundane. There's no emotion to whatever they say, so they're all right at acting, but it's pretty easy to tell most of the time, isn't it? Hey, nice. That's why he's there, baby. One of the best things from last episode was Fern's kind of her fear of being without magic and kind of relying a bit on Stark throughout the episode. Again, so it's kind of subtle, like little stories that really add to the show. And the payoff was right there. Okay, easily dealt with. Easily dealt with. Mm. Yeah, in the long run, save lives. Hey Mo, you're like me in any kind of RPG where you just like you pick up every side quest and you're doing all the side quests before the main mission, and then you inevitably get a little bit over leveled for the main mission stuff. There you go. That was smoothly taken care of. Good job, everyone. I had to pray to a demon. Ah, sly. Sly bastard. Gotta say, it's gonna sound weird, but I love the sound effects on Fern's magic during that scene, during the action scene. Sound like little droplets of water. Very unique. Oh, undoubtedly it will. This is talk about those. This is like the repeatable kind of RPG mission, and I hate those. I I hate them because it's gonna sound so weird, but you can't. They're not like checked off of your like mission list. They just like keep reoccurring as active, and I hate that. That's my completionist kind of mindset coming through. Narcissists. Really? How they do that? They sweet talked one of the servants into helping them destroy the villagers. Hmm. I want to see more about that. Hmm. Of course. What did she get from them? I might have missed it earlier. Oh, we didn't actually know. Okay. Red apples. Who would do that? That's a bad spell. That is. I much prefer red apples. Much prefer red apples. I kind of hate sour. I got better with sour stuff over time, but especially as a kid, I always hated like the sour sweets and anything sour. I'd like hate. Funny enough, I like lemons and stuff, but yeah, like like kids used to love having like the craziest sour sweets, and when I always just be it's just I hate them, man. Got a bit better with them over time, but it's another thing I used to hate was licorice, but I actually really like the flavor of licorice now. So I guess that's one of those kind of evolving, maybe less evolving tastes, but maybe my taste buds are like dying. That's why I'm liking these flavors now. But I did see the behind the scenes of this this ending, and my god, is it brilliant! All hand drawn, incredible, isn't it? I love stuff like this. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You just called me grandma. Somewhere she'd like. You just called me grandma. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Another really awesome episode. Great start to the season so far. And as I said, like, I really can't understand people saying this is overrated. I don't think there's any aspect of the show that is overrated. I wouldn't say it's underrated because obviously it's not underrated, but like there's no aspect of the show that's below like a 9 out of 10, is there? The sound, the characters, the story, the everything. Like there's nothing. Like I don't think I could have felt, which is yeah. I mean, I'm pretty good at critiquing stuff. I think anyway. In terms of like looking for even like the smallest thing. But yeah, it's just brilliant. Love this backstory with this character here that we saw in the trailers in the opening. The hero of the South. I thought he was awesome. Just like very simple thing that they done there, but they just done it so effectively. It just really like hit you, even though you've only known this character for what 2 minutes. You really get behind him. You really appreciate him because of the impact he had on Frieren's journey and is having. Like that's the thing with this show, that everything feels just so impactful because it is impactful. Um, yeah, really liked his story at the beginning of the episode. Then we had a nice bit of action in the second half here, looking for the sword, which was great. Bit more action there, which looked fantastic. It was a bit obvious as to this woman's kind of as I said, like you can tell with these demons because they're just like absolutely stone faced, killer cold, just no emotions whatsoever. And when you're talking about a whole village like dying like this, it kind of made sense as to why she might be like this. I kind of gave her the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, of course she's gonna be a little bit like dead face like this because all these people died. So it kind of almost worked in this situation, but in other situations, it's like they can't really act that well. Like they can try to understand, they can try to, but it never really comes off as human. And obviously, as soon as this woman entered, like it was sus because of the crows. Like, you know, I mean, she must have just been sitting like deadly still, like this, for however long, because there was so many crows there, and the crows like moved as soon as like Frieren and the party came. So that was just sus. If you've watched like any amount of like horror movies or anything, you know when the crows start going away, something sus is something sus is upon us. But yeah, great stuff here. Really like this. Couple really interesting spells as well with the back itcher. This one I hate. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of green apples. I much prefer red apples. So I'd hate that spell personally. But it's a spell of a different variety, so Frieren's gonna love it, of course. But yeah, next week sounds like a pretty comedic episode, judging from the preview, so I'm looking forward to that one. Let me know what you guys thought about this one in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll catch you guys next week with episode 3.